There's a moment, and if you've had it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where something happens. Maybe it was on a meditation cushion, maybe in a therapy session, maybe in a conversation with a friend, or a walk in the woods or on the beach, maybe even a crisis, maybe a medicine experience. Whatever it was, you saw it clearly. You saw it, reality, clearly for what it is. Something profound shifted. You felt, even if just for a moment, what it would be like to live, actually live from that place. And then you go home and it fades. It's gone. I think we've all experienced it. If you've been to a weekend retreat and things are going fabulously on Monday and Tuesday and then Wednesday, what happened? What happened to that realization I had on Saturday? Or the therapy breakthrough that seemed huge in the moment just doesn't change how you show up at work or in relationship. Or the plant medicine ceremony where everything was crystal clear and then it wasn't. And you're not even sure it was clear. You don't remember it that well. Or a moment of deep presence with someone you care about, and then that's gone. Or a book you read that just changed how you saw the whole thing, or maybe a video you watched. It's like, oh, that's it. And then it's gone. You just don't have access to it. This isn't failure. It's the most common experience in the spiritual life, and almost nobody talks about it honestly. They don't want to admit it. We don't want to admit it. You see, understanding isn't the same as embodiment. The glimpses of awareness are just that. They're glimpses, but they don't land in the nervous system necessarily, in the body, in the muscles, in the tissues of your being that will guide the way you walk through a Tuesday afternoon or a Thursday morning. So I spent 5 years studying at a Zen monastery, and I had profound experiences on the cushion, listening to the Dharma talks, reading the texts from Dogen and many others. And yet, while the insight was real, it still was largely in my head. Or this, I was trained as a psychologist. I understood the architecture of the psyche, motivation, the factors that depress, factors that elevate. But again, understanding. Understanding, my friend said, is the booby prize. So there's this gap between knowing and being. And it's not a mind problem. It's not something you're going to figure out. It's actually an issue with the body. You see, we've been taught in this Western culture of ours that if you understand something deeply, deeply enough, you'll change. And to some extent, there's some truth to that. But we live from our bodies, not our minds. Much of our behavior is automatic. It's reflexive. And that comes from the body. And the body doesn't work the way the mind does. It has a whole different physiology. It doesn't actually care all that much about what you understand with your cranial brain. The rest of your brain is down here. That's where we live from. And that's what your body cares about. And here's a part that a lot of folks don't want to talk about. After the glimpse of this clear understanding or grasping of reality, and after that fades, there can be shame. Did I do something wrong? Was I not ready? Or did I pick the wrong teacher? Maybe it's my lack of discipline, or there's something wrong with me. I'll never get this. There are people who get it, and there are people who don't. I'm not one of those who gets it, and I can feel shame around that. You might feel like a fraud. You've got a shelf full of books, Alan Watts and Ram Dass and Ken Wilber and Mark Goffney and all of these wonderful teachers, and it's just not landing in your life the way you'd think it would. Maybe you've kind of stopped talking about it. The people in your life don't understand. The spiritual communities you've been a part of seem to be having some sort of experience you can't replicate, or you can see right through it, and you can see there are other folks in there who are claiming to have experiences and then living a different kind of life than kind of that revelation would suggest they'd be living. So you start to doubt that it was real for you, that it's real at all, that anybody can change. But you see, that glimpse wasn't a tease. It was actually a promise. That glimpse you had was not a myth. It was the reality beckoning. It was your own system showing you this is actually possible. You actually can live that way. The question isn't whether it was real. It was. The question is, what would it take for that to become how you actually live day to day, at work, in relationship, with children, in the world? See, I don't have an easy answer to that question because that would be, again, my brain talking to your brain. See, I've been living with that question for decades. But I will say, the answer, when it started to come to me, didn't come through my understanding. It came through my body. It came through practices I didn't expect. It came through a kind of an unclenching that caught me off guard. And it came in part through being in rooms with other people who were honest about the gap instead of pretending they had already crossed it. If any of this sounds familiar, I'd love to hear from you. What's your experience of that gap between understanding and your lived experience? Please tell me in the comments, or just sit with the question. I'll be talking more about this.